I got my brother Daniel on here. We've been wanting to catch up for a while now, and you reached out to me probably just a few days ago, actually. And
Hmm.
because of COVID and everything, we kind of got separated. We weren't really talking too much, and we were kind of doing our own thing, trying to take care of our families, our loved ones, our businesses, just trying to get in the nitty gritty to keep ourselves alive, right? And we reconnected a few days ago. I had a talk with you, and I was like, dude, Daniel, this guy, you were one of my best students, dude, of what you were doing in the little amount of time that you had. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Hmm.
You were so young in the company or in starting the business and stuff like that. So tell our audience, because we're going to probably be putting you on YouTube and stuff, and let's get a little background, man, on like who you are, Daniel, as a person. What were you doing prior to all this, and tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. Well, what I was doing prior to pretty much Overcome Academy, I was in the window cleaning industry with a big company they have down in New Orleans, which they're really nationwide.
How did you get started with your actually, matter of fact, so you started off doing your own deal. You were doing high rise for another company, and you ran into me on a YouTube video. And what happened from there?
Uh, from there, I kind of slept on it for a couple of weeks and talked to my wife. We talked about it, prayed over it. I checked you out thoroughly to see, what kind of business you were running. Were you an integrity keeper? Because they got a lot of people out there that's, they run scams. And
Absolutely.
there's plenty of YouTube videos and advertisements that pop up, talking about get rich quick and whatnot. And so after pretty much praying about it, I think I emailed you, or I don't know how the transition went, but
I remember you reached out to me and you said, I talked to my wife and she said, I'm good to go. She gave you the pass or something.
yeah, like she gave me the pass because it was an investment. It was an investment, and
Yeah, definitely.
and I had just started my own business, and coming
You,
from
you were
making good money.
you were quitting your job at that time, right?
Yeah, yeah, I was pretty much working part time. So
And that
I
actually
was,
wasn't planned. I think you were something of the regards, you were working for the company. You met me. We started working together a little bit, and then I think I got a call one day, and you were like, I think I'm gonna leave my job. I think I'm gonna go do my own deal. I'm just gonna go all in.
yeah, I went all in. Like I said, I prayed about it, talked to the wife, and it just felt good. It felt good to do it, and so that was our answer. So I quit and I just went all in, and that was around December, January time, and then as soon as January hit, I think like mid January, uh, hit the ground running and was just followed the program that you set up, followed it to a T, kind of put my own flavor in there and just did my thing, and things started falling in place. Based off the program that you created, um, things started falling in place just how you explained it, in the program.
You definitely took that leap of faith. I know you talked to your wife, you prayed about it, and I appreciate you actually giving it a shot, man, and giving me an opportunity to work for you with you, man, to help you out. And
Yeah.
so, how was the first 30 days of the program, and what kind of happened in that first 30 days, would you say? What was going on in that first 30 days? A lot of, I'm sure there was a lot going on. You probably went on some appointments, and just kind of tell the audience, like, how did that first 30 days kind of look?
Yeah, the first 30 was a lot of legwork, you know, and what I mean by that, meaning like going out to the appointments. But first it was getting, the system set up to where I can make the calls and get in contact with people. It was a lot of, making the calls and touching base with the property managers and things like that. And then it was going out to the property, the hotels, and talking to them, telling them what I can do, what type of service I can offer them, what would be a benefit for them, how can it be cost effective. Um, um, it was it was a little stressful at times because it was new and I had to get used to it. Also, I had to build confidence in myself. But
Absolutely.
you know, everything worked out, and you kind of you definitely coached me along the way as far as what I had to do, kind of overcoming some obstacles as far as self limiting beliefs, things like that. So yeah, man, it worked out, bro. The first 30, it was a little stressful, because I just quit my job. I'm thinking, I got to make this work.
Yeah.
That's all I had. All I had was the program. I got to make it work. So, got out there and hustle. You just got to hustle. Put your mind for it, put your mind to it, and get out there and do it.
Absolutely, man. And I think one of the difference between you and maybe some other students that I've worked with is you just said it right there. You said that was the only option you had. You
Mm-hmm.
know, that was it. Like you were quitting your job, you were going all in, and you were going to give it 100%. See, a lot of people, what I've realized is some people will have a backup plan, or they'll have another boat, right? For instance, a lot of people that get in this game, they start with residential, right? And
Mm-hmm.
what I was teaching you is how to get into large commercial contracts for hotels, mainly hotels. That's kind of what we were working on at that time.
Yeah.
Now we're working on a few other things, but the thing is a lot of people, when they first start this game with window cleaning, pressure washing, construction cleanup, or any sort of contractor, right? Any contractor. And I work with painters, I work with landscapers, I work with all kinds of people. And the thing is they start with residential. And so when they start with residential, they have residential, they already have it. So they have a revenue stream coming in from that. Maybe they're making $2,000 a month, $4,000 a month, whatever it is. They're getting a little revenue stream from residential.
Right.
And so you came in with nothing. You literally
Yeah.
came in. I mean, you had a few little residential jobs that I heard you were
Yeah.
doing some
Like here and there that
storefronts and stuff,
popped up. Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Like I had one commercial client that was a restaurant in New Orleans. Um, I had two, a restaurant and also an insurance business. I did their entire building for window cleaning, and then from that, I got in contact with the people that worked there, their houses. I did some of their houses, and so like a couple of things here and there were popping up and it was just referrals.
Right.
Yeah.
And on some of those restaurants and stuff and the insurance and stuff, you were doing the window cleaning and the services for them. How much were you charging them? Was that on a weekly basis? Was it on a monthly basis? How much were you charging them for that?
The restaurant was on a monthly basis. The insurance company is on a biannual basis. And then some of the residential was it was just one and done type of thing. Yeah. So
Okay.
I didn't have a revenue stream coming in. I was just getting jobs, here and there. Besides the insurance company and the restaurant, because
Right.
they need their windows cleaned on a regular basis. They have clients and customers coming in. They need to have a respectable business.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And those businesses were paying what was it? Maybe a couple $100 a month or something like
Yeah,
that.
it should look like the restaurant, like almost $200 every month. The insurance company, I think it was like $350 to do their entire building inside and out,
Right.
something like
Right.
that. Yeah.
And so tell me about what happened after your first 30 days. What started to click for you? Because I know you got some deals. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so after the 30 days, what started to click for you and what started happening? Was it within within 30 days, or was it the next 30 days that things started happening for you?
Let's see. I think by the end of January, things started clicking, and I scheduled a cleaning with the hotel like by the second week of February, something like that.
So
Yeah.
within 30 to 40 days, you got your first deal.
Yeah. Within 30 to 40 days, I got my first deal, and from starting, I was going on appointments and site visits, but nothing was catching on.
Right.
But it finally happened, and someone gave me a shot, and I scheduled for like I think it was the second week of February that I scheduled a cleaning with. It was Spring Hill Suites and Courtyard Marriott. It was a dual ownership type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how much was that contract for? Your first one?
About 4,600.
$4,600.
Yeah,
That's not
4,600.
bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. They were small hotels. There was like two, 3-story hotels. It was just two of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how long did that take you to do that one?
I did it myself in about.
All by yourself?
Yeah, all by myself.
No team, no nothing.
Huh?
No team, no nothing. Just all by yourself.
No, man, just me. Yo,
Knock it
solo
down.
dolo.
Nice.
Yeah. All myself. It took me about, I would say like maybe 8-9 days. And I wasn't even working full days. I was working about 6 hour days. I was making my own schedule going in, and just showing up, letting them know that I'm there, and get to work all day, and not take a lunch. And at the end of the day, 5:30, 6 o'clock, pack my equipment up and head home. Do the same thing the next day.
Now you had prior experience, obviously, in your industry because you were doing high-rise window cleaning and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
as a business owner, you had never dealt with like these people like that before, like doing business with them and sending
Right.
proposals and closing an actual deal, right?
Right.
And so that was all new for you, and I'm sure that felt a little nerve-wracking. And so how did you kind of get past that, so you can lock up your first few deals? Actually, I think you closed another deal as well, right?
Yeah, I closed another deal at the end of my first one. But to answer your question, how did I get past that? Just I had to really hype myself up. I dealt with the engineers and everything, directors and all that before, because I would have to touch base with them with the company that I was with, and pretty much tell them what's going on. What are we doing, or what do we need to fix? Something like that. But having my own business and doing business with these other companies was a whole nother, it was a monster. And it wasn't like a monster per se, like something that's scary, but it's a learning curve. Yeah, it was a whole new learning curve. So
It
I
could
had
be
to,
a little stressful though.
yeah, definitely, it made it stressful. Yeah, so I had to learn on my feet, and at the same time, while I'm talking to them, thinking to myself, oh, I shouldn't have said that. Next time I need to do this. Next time I need to approach them this way. Just coming up with all types of efficient ways in order to sell my business. And have them see that it's something that would benefit them, and have them see that I'm a serious business owner, and that I can bring real value to their company.
So they could take you seriously is what it sounds like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And be confident in you, because a lot of people, what tends to happen is when they switch from residential and they want to get into large commercial, or they want to start working with some big players, the confidence level is a little bit down because maybe they've never done it before. And then when they run into the chief engineers or the property managers or the directors or the project managers, they start to feel kind of small and they want to shrivel up. And it's also because they've never done the project before, right?
Right. Yeah. Definitely. The project can have a big toll on you. Thinking to do something that
the
big.
confidence to do it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so what was going through your mind at that point? You tackled down 3 of these projects, right? How many projects did you get in your first 45 days?
4.
You got 4 projects. What
Yeah.
did that total out to your total lump sum?
I think it was almost 10 grand. A little bit under 10
Almost
grand.
about
Yeah.
10 G's, and you did that
Yeah.
within 50 days, give or take.
Yeah. Yeah. Within a little bit over a month and a half. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Perfect, man. And during that time, like when you're tackling, like obviously the first one was probably the hardest, right? And what was going through your mind? You're like, okay, I'm going to tackle down this big, large commercial contract. You know, obviously there was some fear setting in. There was some uncertainty setting in. You didn't have the equipment. You didn't have any of that stuff. And so 2 questions here. What was your mindset? And then how did the academy and myself help you figure all this out?
The mindset was basically how am I going to get this done? You know, because I was going on appointments and I didn't even have the equipment yet. You know, and you were always, I would call you up and say, hey John, let you know what's going on, what I'm thinking, and what you say, figure it out. Your thing was
Commit first, figure it out later.
later. Yeah, exactly. And it's not like you left me high and dry. You gave me a blueprint in order to, what I need to do, what type of equipment I need to buy, yada yada. But basically, that's how it was. And then I was able to get the equipment, and then doing the job itself, like the window cleaning, it was like second nature because I was already in the industry. So doing that part, it was a piece of cake. But as far as getting the equipment and making that initial investment was, the stressful part, because I'm already making an investment with you in the program,
Sure.
and I quit my job, little to almost no money coming in, taking out of my savings to make the investment with you, and then taking out of my savings some more to make an even bigger investment to get the proper equipment that I needed in order to do the job. And my mindset, I don't want to do the job, halfway. I don't need to have them on my back about something that they've hired me to do and to do a good job at. So
Right.
I'm going to buy if not the best material, equipment, the second best. And that's what I did. I made another big investment and I got my water fed pole, and I got the advice from you to get the filtration systems and everything set up. So yeah.
Yeah, no, man, that's probably one of the hardest things that a lot of people need to overcome is like when you're getting into large commercial, it doesn't necessarily mean you need to spend a hefty investment on the best equipment and stuff like that to get started. But what we did with you, because you felt more comfortable having better equipment and stuff, is we locked up the contract first. Then
Yeah.
we went out and we got our equipment, we got everything we needed, which the contract paid for the equipment.
Right.
So it worked out in your favor, man. And I'm really proud of you, dude, because you did a really good job in your first 45 to 50 days. You went out there, you did what you were supposed to, you made the calls, you went on the meetings, you took the blind leap of faith, which is some people, they can't do that, and you did a great job. You now are going full force and you end up closing about $10,000 in projects, and you end up completing those projects. So what was it like completing those projects? I think you said before it wasn't really that big of a deal because you had experience already prior in the industry, right?
Right.
And so what would you say then if you had to say 3 things that Overcomer Academy and myself was able to bring some value to your life, if any, okay, to help you contribute with your $10,000 and all that good stuff? what would be like the things that you would think to yourself? Like it could be Overcomer Academy. It could be the content I put in the program I gave you, or it could just be the personal conversations that me and you had. What were some of the things that like really impacted you that you're like, man, that was it. Like those are the things that really put the pieces together.
I think it was the Overcomer Academy. It was the program. I think it was the program that gave me the blueprint to what I needed to do in order to have a reliable source of income, for myself and my family. Um, you definitely aided in that I needed in order to accomplish the things that I set out to do as far as the business. Actually closing on the jobs and being able to do them and getting paid was definitely it was a big motivational factor. Seeing that I can, I put my mind to it, I did it. There was a reward in the end, and motivated me to get out there and reach for even more bigger contracts and things. And just before the pandemic came, I was in line to close two more deals. I told you with Cambridge, not Cambridge. What is the name of this hotel? Start with a C.
Cambridge Suites.
Say it again.
Cambridge Suites.
It's not. It looks like Cambridge when you first look at it, but it's Cambria. Cambria. It was
Cambria Suites.
Yeah,
Okay,
Cambria
okay.
Hotel. I was a 7-story hotel. Prior to that, I was just working on 2-3-story hotels. That was a 7-story hotel. I went in, did
What was the price on that one?
that one was right under $6,000, I think. They didn't have a lot of windows. They didn't have a lot of windows though.
That's still pretty good, man.
Yeah, yeah. They didn't have a lot of windows. It was right under $6,000. Yeah. But and then there was another hotel that I was gonna close on. But it was 6 stories. I was gonna do that one for like $7,000, and then the pandemic hit. So I was on the road, bro.
You were doing good, bro.
Yeah, I was on the road. But other than that, I think the program, you and being able to accomplish what I did accomplish in a little amount of time was definitely a big motivational factor. It gave me the motivation, to the motivation and the confidence in order to get out there and shoot for more, shoot for the stars, as they would say.
Absolutely, man. Well, I appreciate that, man. I think definitely you were on your way, man, prior to COVID hitting. Unfortunately, the hotel industry got destroyed with this
Yeah,
COVID
definitely.
thing, man. It got
Yeah,
destroyed. And it doesn't mean it's over though. And so I want you to know that when they come back online, they're still going to need you. They're still going to need their building service. And so this skill set is going to stick with you forever.
oh, definitely.
And that's not the only large commercial contracts that's out there. And that's what we're going to be talking about a little bit after this meeting is we got office buildings, we got multifamily. There is companies out there that are still striving. And so that's what it takes in this sort of market. It's a mini recession, and nobody could have predicted this, right? No, I mean, a recession, sure. Maybe even we could have predicted 9/11 from happening more than this, right? I mean, this
Mhm.
is just like, this is literally like war. I mean, we're literally at war right now, is the way that our entire society is going. And fortunately, the way that I've designed my business and the way you design your business now, I mean, it's luckily that you added residential into your portfolio so you can continue to thrive during this time. For me, I'm diversified still just in large commercial contracts, but we're doing the construction cleanup. We do multifamily, we do a mixture of buildings, and I hope I can help you with that, Daniel, because, I know you have the courage, you have the drive, and I was looking forward to hearing your success story even further prior to this COVID thing happening, man. And so I'm so
Yeah.
sorry that happened to you, but we're going to
Hey,
definitely
man,
keep pushing for the stars.
definitely, bro. It's life. It happens. You adapt, adjust, and you keep pushing forward. You know, whatever you got going on, just adapt, adapt, adapt. You know.
Absolutely. So last words, what would be your best advice for anybody that's considering to work with myself or Overcomer Academy? Best words of advice from somebody that's actually been through the program. Now the program's been adjusted, it's changing a little bit, and we're doing it for other areas. But what would be your advice, man?
Uh, uh, follow the program, and basically follow the program. Uh, write down any improvements that you can do, that you can make on your own. Pay attention to yourself. Pay attention to uh, these director of engineer, chief of engineer. Pay attention to them, what they're saying. Um, I don't know, man. I lost my thought. Basically, I don't just
Just follow the program.
follow the program, bro. That's all you got to do. If you follow the program, you're going to succeed. And if you start having doubts, some doubts may come, but brush it off your shoulders and keep going. As long as you follow the program that John, set out, you'll you'll succeed. Just keep pushing, keep pushing. Build confidence. Pay attention to yourself. And I'm saying that because I had to pay attention to myself.
Right.
How Because when you're going into these commercial properties, they're paying attention to you, and they're looking at you, how you react, what you say, and that first impression is definitely a lasting impression within these properties, because they get people trying to do work for them all the time, and they have people there working at times too. You know, so you're just the next Joe Blow trying to get $1.
Mm.
So as long as you come correct, be professional as possible, and have that confidence, they'll see that within you, and they'll realize that, okay, he's not a regular Joe Blow. He has a real company, um, and he's professional. He carries himself well, and they'll see that. It'll reflect if you take it that seriously. So that's my advice.
I like that. I like that. That's perfect, because you're absolutely right, man. I mean, people, like you said, so many people will try to go and get large commercial contracts. And what makes you stand out? Why are you different?
Right.
Why do business with you? This guy's giving me a $500 cheaper than you're giving me, or he's just $500 more than you. What's that to them, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so what's making you stand out? So I like that, man. Thanks for giving my audience those pointers, because you were somebody that went through the program, and you were able to give some fast success. Your first 45 days, you were a storm. It was 10 G's. You had $7,000 lined up right around the corner. And so let's see what we can do about that in some other industries, man. But thank you for coming on this interview. Thank you for doing this for us.
No problem.
Ian,
You're welcome,
thanks
bro.
you. Overcomer Academy, thanks you, man. Appreciate it.
No problem. You're welcome, my brother.